Catch me 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. every Friday on Black Culture Radio. And don't forget that you can listen to any show you want at any time on Mixcloud. If you go to mixcloud.com and put JJ Music Lover 75 into the search bar, you'll find all my shows and mixes. And then after that, the track I just played, Passport, Rav and Bloo Azul, they have a new album out called 83rd Strike. Yes, latest in a series that they're doing. That track that I just played was called Paying for My Sins. And I have the guys on right now. Passport, Rav and Bloo Azul are in the house. How you doing, brothers?
Peace, man. What's the word, man?
Yeah, man. We're calling, man. It's nice to have you along.
Yeah.
It's great to have you on the show. Thank you for doing this, man. I especially have to give thanks to Bloo Azul, and just going to overview how we got here, man. I put one of their tracks on social media, a track called The Consequence from 2023. I put that because I share music on social media all the time. That's basically what I do. And Blue has all shared it and showed love. So I just popped him a message, man, saying, "You want to do an interview?" And he was like, "Yeah, me and Passport would rather be up for it, man." And here you are, man. So thank you for that, man. I'm humbled. I really am.
Absolutely, man. Nah, I appreciate you tapping in, you know what I'm saying, to the music and just, you know what I'm saying, sharing and just putting it out in the world like that for us, you know what I mean? So, of course, it's only right that we could tap in and do a little something, you know?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
thank you. Right,
Yeah.
so let's while we're on the subject of 83rd Strike, like I just told you, the album's dope. I've been listening to it all week. What was there anything when you were coming together to do this? Because obviously you've worked together before in the past. When you were coming to do this, was there anything different in how you approached it, or was it just more of the same that you guys do?
Yeah, we gonna take turns, you know. We got
Yeah.
right.
I'll
Practice
ask
so
you
much.
first. You go first, Passport.
Yeah, we pretty much said we wanted to be similar to the first one with multi producers. Spanish Ran took over part two, and for the third one, we was just like, yeah, let's make a even a better version than the first one. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew that this wasn't the end of what we were going to do. So we wanted to be witty with what we were doing, play on words on the 83.
Yeah.
And just keep the legacy that we got going, you know, and this classic shit that we're putting out, man, which is dope, you know.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Um, I mean, like I said, I shared a video of you guys from 2023. So obviously you've been doing stuff together for a while. How did you first get involved with each other? Azul, if you tell the story.
Yeah, well, over here in New York, you know, it's in the underground scene, it's a real big community.
Mm.
And every time we have like events or specials that's thrown out on IG and you see flyers knowing that's going to be something hip hop related, everyone shows out, you know, like community is real strong. People love seeing other people win, regardless, you know them, just catching in, tapping into people. So when you go to these places, you know what I'm saying, you get familiar with artists. Maybe you only talk to on IG, you meet them in person. Maybe you catch a vibe, maybe you don't, just depending on the energy. But with me and Rav, like we had a great energy from the get. So every time we linked and to see each other, you know, I mean, it was always a great vibe. And it helped that the music that me and him did, you know, it was a little similarity, you know, like towards what everybody else is doing in the community. And so we had a bond towards that. So I think since we were both confident in what we do solo wise, like we said, you know what, how about we just join forces, do something? And then 3 albums later, this is where we at now, you know?
Right, okay. So I'll ask you now, Rav. When you did first sort of get together and catch that vibe and start making music together, was it just the plan to make, a couple tracks together? Or was it always sort of we can sort of build together, as it were?
Yeah, I think it just starts with just like, yeah, let's fuck around, see what we come up with just a song. And then I think it was just so seamless in the front. I feel like the first song was The Consequence.
Consequence.
The first song we ever made together was The Consequence. And it was just
Okay.
like, and that was like my best beat at the time. I was just like, yeah, nah, let's let these things fly. Cause as my producers out here, we we can tend to like hold the fire and be like, oh, I'm waiting to run into such and such, you know what I mean? But I was like, nope, let's go. And then from there, it was just so dope and seamless. We
Yeah.
just finished the album in no time.
Mm. So yeah, I'll go back to you, Azul. What is it you think, like, have you been able to sort of sit down and think about what it is that Passport brings to your art that you think makes you two fit together so seamlessly?
I mean, the nostalgia. You know, we're both from the same era.
Mm,
We're a couple of days apart, birthday wise. Even
mm,
besides being 83. Um, so I think we again in the raps we have similarities in what we talk about, and I think that
mm,
kind of like sparks things. You know, just certain subjects he'll bring up or things. Again, yeah, nostalgia just in a whole, and I feel like that's what we keep trying to bring in the albums. So like just continue with that.
mm.
Yeah.
What about you, Passport? You got anything to add to that, or is that sort of the vibe?
Oh, as far as like, you mean as far as like what Blue
Yeah.
brings?
What is it that when you work with Blue just makes you like lock in and want to do more? What does he bring to your style that complements you
Well, first of
so
all,
well?
Blue might be the flyest rapper in New York. I ain't gonna hold you. So
Mm,
fashion wise, I
mm,
definitely like. I'll be like, I gotta come on my A game. Anytime we doing anything visually, Blue is gonna pop out with some crazy shit that I'm just like, damn, like, you think you fly, but so definitely fashion. But as far as bars, the 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 depth of the lines and the wittiness, the depth, and his unique approach to his flow
yeah.
for sure.
All right, man. So what how much input did you have into the sound of the album? I guess this is more directed at Passport, since I mean, you're sort of beat more of the beat maker of the two. Um, how much input, like you said, Spanish Ran, who I love as well, man. Spanish Ran sort of brought a vibe on the second part. Now we're in the 83rd strike. How much did you just relax and get into your rapping bag, or were you a big part of the way the track sounded on the album?
Yeah, well, as I executive produced it, so meaning like I decided the order. Well, we kind of both decided order,
Mm,
and he definitely, we definitely made sure we balanced out when each other goes first. Make sure it's more balanced and um collabed in the sense of how many hooks and who's doing the hook for this and that. But I ordered it, came up with the theme, kind of sonic theme of it, the mastering.
mm,
But for each track, it's still Blue get a beat, I get a beat. Blue
mm,
start a song, I start a song, and then
mm.
as far as individual tracks, it's definitely 50-50. But yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I never questioned the structure. Absolutely, you know what I mean? Because I had a trust in him. It was like I knew how it would be formatted would be in a proper way. Because what I'm saying, it could get touchy like that. Pause. You know what I mean? Egos get into it, and you might not want it to be a certain way like that, and could clash. But now with him, I put trust in already in how the structure was going to be, regardless of us, just music wise, creatively. So
Yeah.
it connected well.
Yeah. And have you guys had a chance to gauge the response to the album since it's been out? It's been out for a little while now.
What do you mean, like soaking in the response of what's going
Yeah,
on?
like the response from who,
Oh man, it's
what are people saying to you about what they've heard of
bro,
the album?
it's been I would want to say overwhelming. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
this is probably one of the biggest bang in a while, like towards an album wise, because a lot more eyes it's happening now besides the people and our core fans.
yeah.
Um, it's spreading everywhere, and from all angles, we're just getting feedback and talking about how great the project is, and it's something we knew already, but it's like I don't want to call it a reassurance, but it's just like, come on, we knew this was happening. You know what I mean? We knew this
Mm,
was really dope. So the fact that we're getting so much, man, it's really dope. It's amazing, man. In a nutshell, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Really dope.
And Rav, have you got anything to add to that? Have you had any personal sort of, feedback moments with the album?
I mean, yeah, nah, it's just been fire. It's been over a whole lot of work, a whole lot of back to back, just radio interview, freestyles. Um, you know what I mean? Shout out to Static, who was on the show off radio.
Mm.
Uh, Shoot, I got 2 interviews today. I've got one right after this.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been overwhelming with work, living a regular life, and responding to the response of the album.
Yeah,
It's been fire, man. It's what
yeah.
you asked for. It's like you asked for this thing. You pray for the days of getting recognition, and then when you get it, it's just like, God damn, this is a lot of work.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we manifested this motherfucker. We knew it was gonna blow up the way it did, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before to other people that I've interviewed, man, but what I love about the album, you know what I mean? It's like some albums you get and there's dope tracks on it, but there's a drop off in quality as well. Do you know what I mean? You'll get an 8 tune, a 9 tune, then a 2, then a 5, then a 3, then a 7, then a 9. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this album is just like 9, 8, 9, 7, 9. You know what I mean? It's all sort of up there. Do you know what I mean? And it all flows together. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I've been really enjoying the album. Rav, I'll go to you before Passport Rav, before sort of your discovery of hip hop and being a fan. What kind of music did you grow up around with when you were small? What was playing in your house, or you know what I mean, at your cousin's house or whatever, man? What kind of music did you grow up with before you could sort of curate what you wanted to listen to?
Yes, big tunes, reggae music,
Mm.
and some rock. I was on my white boy shit. I had some white friends out in Montclair that put me on the rock and roll,
Mm.
jungle music, whatever my brothers was listening to. Basically, I
Okay.
remember jungle music, but I couldn't even tell you what it sounded like. I just remember that name, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then eventually fell in love with hip hop.
Mm. Okay. And what about you, Azul? What kind of music was playing in your house when you were little, man? What are your earliest musical sort of, you know, touchstones?
It was real sporadic. My pops, he had a wide range of like tastes, which was dope. Southside, of course, being,
Mm.
growing up in a Puerto Rican household.
Yeah.
A lot of classic rock, a lot of soul, disco from my mom's side,
Mm.
even some jazz we get, and hip hop, like early style, you know what I mean? Hip hop, I guess, like the Run DMC and all that
Mhm.
vibes. But yeah, I think hip hop drew me more. I think once I heard like Crisscross and Jump and all that in that era, that kind of like
Mm.
brought me more towards the hip hop era.
The early
Going, you
90s.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so apart from Chris Cross, who else were you kind of listening to at the time when you were getting into hip hop for yourself?
At that time, like after Crisscross, I would say Doggy Style.
Mm.
When Snoop Dogg came out,
Mhm.
like I remember, like I swear, man, I feel like a lot of people don't remember this, but I actually purchased the Doggy Style album in the McDonald's in the Bronx. Like they sold CDs in the McDonald's, and Doggy Style
Wow.
was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that definitely that. And then as getting older, Lost Boys, I was a big
Mm.
fan of too, like Lex Coops, Beamers. Um, yeah, whole wide range of that. And then it got some
Mm.
more darkers, like Wu Tang, got into that,
Mhm.
Biggie, and then just the floodgates from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
my cousin was a big hip hop guy too, so he introduced me to like a lot of like that I wasn't tapped into, like Killer Priest or something. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
to deep cuts and stuff. Yeah, which was fire.
Yeah. What about you, Rav? When you sort of got into hip hop as a fan, who were the people that kind of like drew you in?
First album I ever bought with my own money was AZ Pieces of a Man.
Mhm.
Um, eh, DMX for sure was my first like favorite like stan. I was a DMX stan.
Mhm.
Big L's first, Big L, the big picture. Uh, and I ain't gonna hold you, controversial as it is. P Diddy's No Way Out album,
Mhm.
Fire.
that
The
that
Delivery.
album.
Yeah.
I mean, Cannabis. You know, when DMX, Nori, and Cannabis was on the radio, that was like first want to jump out of the window of a moving car moment. You know what I mean? Like and Big Pun and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Rav, when you started getting involved in hip hop for yourself, what form did it take? I mean, did you get on the kind of beat making thing first or the rapping thing first?
I've always been trying to make beats,
Mm,
little corny keyboard beats at first. Um, and yeah, eventually I just took producing more serious when the people I was trying to work with in Jersey wasn't trying to work with me
mm,
and not trying to give me beats. I was just like, I'll make my own beats then. And
mm,
I think I was 14 and I was left in the studio in Newark for 4 hours, and they told me the basics and just said figure it out. And I made my first four beats. And yeah.
that's cool, man. Yeah, Azul, what about you, man? When you first started getting into hip hop, what form did it take? Was it solitary sort of writing poetry that you made rhyme, or was it banging on lunch tables in a cipher? How did it grow with you?
It was, I would say it's a little both.
Mm,
Definitely banging table era. I would say I was more darker back in the day, just because the era I was in, at that
mm,
time, like the DMXs and all that, the lock styles, it was a lot of dark raps and just how I was living.
yeah.
So it kind of matched the vibe, you know what I mean? So I would definitely be more into that vibe. But yeah, like, as I formulated and rap more and started finding myself, I kind of like realized the level of kind of rapping I want to go to, you know what I mean? In the direction. So
Mhm.
so it was dark in the times, but in a good way, you know what I mean? Like it helped sharpen my skill, you
Yeah.
know. A lot of freestyling. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of training. It was like boot
Mm,
camp,
mhm.
you know. Definitely
And
that.
was there a kind of certain point where you thought, this is what I want to do? Was it kind of like a revelation, or was it kind of like you say, you were doing a lot of freestyle, so it was just a natural
Yeah.
progression towards that?
So at back in the day, in my teens, I did want to go the whole deal route, of course, because that's what was presented to you. That's all
Yeah,
you knew as
sure.
a young and trying to get on. So that was always on the table. But then there was like a dark period, like not I don't want to call it dark period, but it was a time where I had my child, so I did my dad thing, stopped everything, and it was a lot of writing where why am I still writing rhymes? It was a lot of those kind of raps. And then fast forward around 2019 is kind of where I was like, you know what, all these raps that I would do, because I would work with Spanish Ran.
Yeah.
That's one of my guys, and me and him grew up doing music together. So
Okay.
regardless what was going on, me and him always did like music and did tracks and stuff.
Hmm.
But we never showed anyone, just kept it on the low.
Yeah.
But around that time, 2019, we said, you know what, how about we just start showing these songs, because you can reach them now to different countries, by streaming it and putting it here and putting that.
Mm.
So yeah, we took the bullet on that, and then that's when it kind of really like took off more. Like, all right, you know what, we're gonna keep doing this because it's a good feedback. We knew we had something special in our hands,
Right.
and yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Rav? Was there a sort of, was there a kind of like lightning strike moment where it's like, I'm gonna do this, hip hop stuff, or did you kind of like just it's natural that I'm doing this? Do you know what I mean?
I definitely wasn't a born natural. I definitely was whack as fuck at first and just kept trying over and over and over again till
Mm,
I got better. I freestyled for Wyclef in East Orange when I was 16. And I think that was the first moment I was just like, yeah, I want to, this is, I just feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. And then my first mixtape in 2011 with Superstar J, I would say that's my first real, like, first time, like, taking music serious and wanting to, like, invest in myself.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Rav, how did you come up with the name Passport Rav? How did you settle on that?
It started as Ravenous Productions.
Right.
And that was like the producer name, and it was Rav P for short or whatever. A lot of for the real heads that been fucking with me for a lot of years, no Rav P, and it was always like P for that passport. That was like my what I mean, my alias. So
Mm.
eventually it was just like rebranding. You know what I mean? I love traveling. I want my music to take you places. So yeah, Passport Rav.
Okay. And what about you, Azul? How did you come up with Blue Azul? Because obviously you spelled the blue BLOO.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that? And were there any other names before that?
Yeah, definitely had other names before that. Graffiti wise, I was a big graffiti head.
Oh,
Um, Originally, I had a name called Fen, Fen, that I would write up.
mm,
But the blue came from just I was like a fan of the color. I'd always wear it all the time to a point that people just started calling me that. Yo, blue, could just the fact I had the color,
yeah.
and Blues Clues was a big thing at the time, so that kind of like coincided with that.
Mm,
Um, but it was a graffiti artist that wrote the name Blue that my cousin was cool with. So I didn't want to put the UE, even though people call me Blue, so I had changed it to OO.
okay.
But the Asul came later when I actually started doing the music shit, taking it real serious. I was just always a fan of the two the two word name, just done done. So I
Mm,
wanted something that people like relate to, and a lot of Spanish people I know, they always call me Azul. Like if they don't speak English, it's always
mhm,
Azul. So I think of both sides of the world, Blue Azul.
sure.
And it just it kind of had a good ring to it, so I stuck with it.
Mhm. Okay. And getting back to the way you guys sort of work together, is there a kind of tried and trusted process that you go through now when you're approaching a project, or is it just you kind of decide it's time to do something else, or is it all meticulously planned, as it were?
The universe is just it's just life and timing, and yeah, because we're solo artists that decide
Mm,
to collab together. So
yeah.
he put out mad projects, I put out mad projects, and
Mm,
moving around living life, and it's just like it's time. It's like some virtual some metamorphical bat signal goes out, and it's just like time for 83 to come again.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely like it. Yeah, it's effortless. At this point, we just let the music speak. We have the beats ready, play it, whatever words feel like we need to express out, and then we just connect on that.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, like I said, everybody, 83rd Strike is out now. It is dope, man. I played Paying for My Sins. Big shout out to Custody as well for that beat, man, because that is definitely something different, man. I'm really digging that song. Um, and after we finish, I'm gonna play a track from sort of near the end of the album. I'm gonna play Exhibit Joint, another dope track on the album. I like that one, man. And yeah, I'll be playing a couple more, as the weeks go on, man. It's a really good album. Easy purchase for me. So yeah. So
Appreciate that, man.
what's next for Blue Azul and Passport Rav, either together or separately?
Hmm. I mean, working still.
Mm,
Definitely got things coming out. Don't really like say when, but
right.
people will know when the time comes. I'm always working, always moving, always creating.
Sure.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Rav.
Same, bro. Same. More music, more collab videos and solo videos, and yeah, just more of this art.
Mm, okay.
All this.
Rav, when you're you know, I like to ask beat makers this, the few beat makers that I've spoken to. When do you know that a track is done? Because obviously you can have a track and you like it, and it's like, oh, there's something missing. Add something, add something, add something, take something away, and you can never finish it. How do you kind of like come to the decision that this is done and I'm not going to mess with it anymore?
I've grown to just keep it simple.
Mm,
You realize it's just like cooking food, man. You mix too much stuff, you're doing too much.
mm,
You know, Dishes are simple ingredients. Make sure it's quality ingredients, and yeah, I try not to think too much.
mhm. Okay. And Blue, when you're writing, are you the kind of guy that has I know people don't really have, sort of physical notebooks anymore, but are you the kind of guy to have, a bank of lyrics waiting there, or is it when you approach a project, you like to write new?
Uh, I would say a little of both. I do like to write frequent words and sentences on my notes,
Mm,
like just things I think of or just see, and I'm like, oh, ideas, and I keep those just in the tuck.
yeah.
So like whenever I am creating, I'll go back and look at that and kind of intertwine with what I'm doing.
Mm,
But most of the time, it's when I hear the beat on the spot, because most of my songs are based on the actual beat itself. So
right.
that's whatever motion that beat is giving is where I'm gonna take that direction. So yeah, I would say mostly depending on the beat itself. But
Mm,
again, like I said, little both. I always have raps in the cut. If I don't have a beat, I'll be on YouTube Music looking at type beats. You know what I mean? Like just to sharpen my sword and write things in general.
sure.
And those raps itself could fall into a beat that I hear, and I'm like, oh, this goes good with this. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Okay.
I need to
Um,
do that more often. I need to get back to doing that.
mm,
Or like just to do.
Yeah, because when I stop writing, I just feel like it's like working out. You stop working out and you try to work out again, it's just like it's just feels hard, kind of.
mm.
Or
Yeah, you got to go through that kind of pain period again. Yeah.
mhm.
So, Rav, do you have a preference on which you like more, the rhyming or the production, or is it all sort of this is my art and this is how I express it?
A lot of the times I think producing is more fun or just more is seamless for me because even if I'm not in the mood, it's just muscle memory. I just find a sample chop, or
Mm,
play whatever. Um, but then sometimes when I make a song, I'm like, but nah, like, I have this voice, and when I make a dope track, it feels great. Uh, so it's tough, yeah. But I probably lean more to production.
okay. And what's the craziest sample that you've used?
What you mean?
I
Ain't
mean,
no
what's
no
the
no
like,
sample section over here,
I mean,
man.
obviously, the thing that I love about hip hop, because I have a very eclectic taste in music as well. You know what I mean? Like you were saying
Mhm.
earlier, you know, I've been on my metal stuff for years now. I've been listening to heavy metal for years. I used to be in a heavy metal band at one point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And a very eclectic taste in music. I can be listening to Enya or Sigur Rós one day, and then sort of Deftones the next day, and then I'll be on Public Enemy the day after that, and then I'll be on, what I mean, whatever. So, I mean, what's the craziest sample that you work with, as in the furthest away you think from hip hop that you've made work in a hip hop tune?
Man, I sampled bagpipes once, made a fire
Mhm.
beat. Um,
Mhm.
but I love folk music, but more recently going to Japan, man, going to Japan and just a few days of exploring the music out there, the stores. It's endless. I realized like because I was looking for Japanese samples before I went out there, but actually being out there, it's just like, man, like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like there's so much music out there that you wouldn't think, that they make.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Right, so Azul, I would like you to give some shout outs to
My
people
bad.
that have helped you along your way, people that you would, just like to thank, people that just in your circumference that just push you along in what you're doing, man. Who would you like to shout out?
I mean, first and foremost, the church, man. My homie
Mm,
Spanish Ram, my homie Aldo, Tree Mason, my homie Tom. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And those are my guys. My homie Biz. You know what I mean?
mm,
We all put in this work together, even though we're doing it solo, but we work as a team.
yeah.
Even though we're not a group, it's a collective. It's a strong friendship, a bond. And yeah. Then I mean, of course, my parents, having both my mom and pop still living, you know what I mean, and
Mm,
being together to this day, that helps, you know what I mean? Like just making me a better man. And yeah, man. I mean, just and myself for fucking beating shit, you know what I mean, and going through the terrain and trying to like elevate, you know, for real.
What about you, Rav?
Uh definitely the DJs that helped along the way, from Chris G, Rochester uh to Static to Seuss, that consistently support uh Sirius XM, showing love,
Mm.
when I don't even have a huge buzz.
Yeah.
Um, man, LL Cool J, shoot, shout out to Big Todd, man. He helped me for many years, push my
Okay.
brand. People that take a chance. Uh, Wavy to God, it's
Mm.
my
Mm.
God. Emilio Craig, the Walkers, and
Yeah.
the fans, man, the fans that
Yeah.
spend their money to support,
Mm.
um, and the ones that stream too, but for sure the ones that spend some bread
Yeah.
to support the art.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout
Because
out to those supporters,
always
man.
it always makes me laugh when sort of people say, "Oh, artists don't do this anymore, or they don't do this anymore." It's like, well, when you find it, you buy it, they'll be able to do it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make your marketplace. You know what I mean? If you find an artist that's dope and you don't buy his stuff, what's the point? You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
great way to put it.
So
That's a great way to put it, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, like, as you know, I've been fans of you guys for a few years now. When I heard 83rd Strike, I was like, easy purchase, man. Gives
Mhm.
Passport Rav and Blue Azul the chance to go do it some more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
to me, that's the point. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age where everything's streaming and, you can easily just go and hear it and then move along and then complain that rappers don't do it anymore. It's like, well, it's because you didn't buy it. you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah,
So,
man.
I feel
yeah.
like they think somehow that streams, even though I don't know, it should be common knowledge that we don't make much money off of streams. Like
Mm,
somehow they think that, like, I don't know, that's enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know humans just enjoy comfort, and that's what they just that's what
I think
they.
so. I
It's
think
it's
so.
it's
Yeah.
it's convenience, it's
Mm,
convenient. Up, boom, that's it. I don't think they look further past it, but
yeah.
that's why it's our job to like push it, and put it in their
Mm.
face. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I mean, I
package
think part of
physicals
it
and
as
all that.
well, though, is obviously,
Yeah.
sort of, we come from the age of physical media. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm a few years older than you guys, so for me, it was if I didn't go to the record store, I wouldn't hear it. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Maybe you'd
Yep.
find it on the radio, but you know what I mean? If you wanted any deep cuts, you had to go to the radio station and, you know, crate dig. You had to go to the record store and crate dig, you know what I mean? And listen to
Yeah.
vinyl tracks to find out what you wanted to buy and what was the buzz and all of that, you know what I mean? Where in this day and
Yeah.
age, you can kind of like catch it anywhere. Do you have any
I
thoughts on staying prolific in this sort of streaming era? Because like it seems like, I don't know whether it's true or not, but it seems like people's attention spans are shorter. Do you so you kind of have to keep putting out stuff, otherwise people can forget you? Do you know what I mean? Do you have any thoughts on that, or do you think it's just the way
I
it is now?
I mean, that was a constant battle for me
Mm,
personally because I enjoy the quality, letting you sit and enjoy something for a little bit. And
mm,
as like, all right, I got to drop another one tomorrow. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, so I do understand how quick everything is now, and I guess you can work both ways. You can put a span out where you can make a good, nice 3, 4 albums in a year, and that's a nice, clean way. You know what I mean? You can still give great quality. You got to keep up with the times. I know shit is how it is. Yeah, I
mm.
mean, but no, you make it work, man. You're resilient. You know what I mean? If you really trying to be strong in this game, that's you work out how it is, and yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's weird, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm somewhere in between with it. I don't know. I see both sides, like the mysterious and drop a bomb once in a blue and disappear again, and
Mm,
then the people, and then pushing the algorithm for social media, staying relevant and losing steam if you don't keep up. I honestly don't know.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
I mean, but if you accumulate and gain a core fan base, you could just make shit work. Like, look at people like Ka or something.
Mhm.
He can drop every now and then, but when it is strong, even somebody like Makami, he'll drop, but when it is, it's gonna be heard of and spoken, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
physicals. You know what I mean? And so he's gonna make money on top of fans getting what they get. So
Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
like
you
it
could build
reminds me
that.
of when I get to the stage where you're someone like Jay Electronica hasn't dropped an
Yo,
album in
shit,
ages,
yeah,
and then just came back
yeah.
last
10
year,
years.
dropped like 4 albums, and then left again.
Yeah,
Made me
man.
laugh, man. I love
I
that,
know,
man.
bro. He frustrates me so much, bro. Because I
Mm.
fuck with James. Yo,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Okay. So just before we go, I just I'll start with you again, Azul. If you just give everyone your socials, where they can find your music, where they can find, you know what I mean?
Yeah, BL2Os_AZUL. You can find me there on all social media platforms. Wherever you
Mhm.
find music, that's pretty much what it is. Blue Azul. You'll find everything just from those 2 words.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Passport, Rav.
Yeah, Passport Rev on everything. Subscribe to my YouTube, follow on IG and all of that. Bandcamp if you want to support
Mhm.
directly. We still got vinyl on deck, people. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Few left, a little handful left. So go cop a vinyl or the digital.
Mm.
Cop the digital copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you get the vinyl. It comes with both on Bandcamp.
Mm.
Exactly.
I mean,
There
that's
you
that's
go.
one thing. That's one thing that frustrates me. Because obviously, buying something from an American website, there's you got to pay extra to get it sent over to the UK as well. So you end up paying
Yeah.
like, you can get up to sort of, $100, which is about, I don't know, about 80 pounds now for an album. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If I had the money to do that all the time, that's what I'd do. But it can get expensive, man.
No, I know,
So
man. Yeah, they,
yeah. So yeah, Passport Rav Blue Azul, man. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for giving up your time to talk to me, man. Yeah. 83rd Strike is out. Go and check both their catalogs, man. Like they said, they do solo stuff as well. It is all dope. Yeah, thank you for your time, gentlemen, man. And I will
man. I
speak to
appreciate
you
you.
very soon. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir,
All
man.
right. Peace,
No
peace,
doubt.
peace.
Peace.
Follow me on all social media platforms at JJ Music Lover 75, and also follow Black Culture Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.